Well, a lot has happened in Kenya in the past 24 hours, from a patient running away from the isolation center at Mbagathi Hospital to doctors running away from a patient in Kakamega and someone being killed because he has coronavirus symptoms. Let's talk about that. Yo, what's up guys, what it is, what do you do, how you guys doing, how you guys feeling? It's an amazing day in Kenya. Nairobi is where I'm at right now. In the past 24 hours, a lot has actually happened in Kenya. First things first, let's get it off the table. A patient ran away from Mbagathi Hospital Isolation Center. Yeah, the coronavirus isolation center in Mbagathi Hospital. Now, she was caught, taken back to the center, tested, and she was found positive with coronavirus. Now, the twist of the story is that she came into contact with 85 other people. 85, yeah. You see, that number 85, personally, I don't trust that number, because she might have come into contact with many other people. But government says she came into contact with 85 people, and all these 85 people are actually in the process of being tracked down. Yeah, it's crazy. And it gets crazy because in Kakamega, doctors literally ran away from this patient who had coronavirus symptoms. And it doesn't get crazier than in Kwale. Yeah. All this happened in 24 hours. In Kwale, a man was killed because he had coronavirus symptoms. Like, these guys just pounced on him, killed him, like, yo, man, done. This comes after the government just confirmed new coronavirus cases in the country, now bringing the number to 7. Now, Kenya is the second most affected country in East Africa after Rwanda, which has 8 confirmed cases. Now, it gets crazier in South Africa, where they just confirmed 31 new cases in a span of 24 hours. Now, this is so crazy to the point that Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, decided to announce a state of emergency, or rather declare a state of emergency in the country. They're shutting down all the flights, shutting down the country. It's basically South Africa is being locked down. Speaking about locking down, Kenyans on social media today were trending the hashtag #LockdownKenya. And it's shocking because even on the hashtag, a lot of Kenyans still don't believe that coronavirus is in the country. Now, this comes after the global statistics for coronavirus just actually surpassed 200,000. It's crazy. It's 200,383. Talking about the number of people who've recovered from the virus is still standing at 67,003. And the deaths have actually gone up from yesterday, from 7,495 to 8,694. Now, this thing is very, very serious. I gotta big up the government and the banking sector for putting measures into place that will actually see that the rate of transmission of coronavirus is minimized. Today, I saw the central bank governor was at State House with a couple of CEOs from the banking sector. Joshua Garo's there, and they're talking about how they're now just easing up and advocating for people to use mobile money instead of using the cash, because we need to take the number of infections lower. You see, globally, there's this thing known as flattening the curve. Flattening the curve is basically making sure that we have protective measures to put the rate of infection lower than the health system capacity. Now, if you look at the red part, now the red part actually shows what will happen if we don't put protective measures into place. Now, the blue part is what most countries in the world are aiming to achieve. Now, this happens if we sanitize, if we minimize our movement. And you see, it's crazier because you see now that dotted black line shows the healthcare capacity. Speaking about Kenya, the World Bank did a study in 2010. They called it the Development Index Study. Basically, they wanted to know how many beds are there to take care of Kenyans. They found out that we have 1.4 beds per 1,000 people. Remember that number. It's a very, very important number. Now, this means in 2010 we had 38.6 million Kenyans. Right now we have 47.5 million Kenyans. That's roughly 8.9 million more Kenyans. Let's say that the health sector has grown by roughly 100. No, let's give it 500%. That's 7 beds per 1,000 people. Let's even blow up the number. Let's give it 1,000%. Of course, it can be that because Kenyans embezzle everything, Afia House, Scandal and all. Okay, let's just give it 1,000%. It means that we have 14 beds per 1,000 people. Now, this becomes crazy because we have 47.5 million Kenyans. If you blow up the number from 14 per 1,000 people, it means that we have roughly 665,000 beds to take care of 47.5 million Kenyans. Now it gets crazier because right now Kenyans are not seeing the need of sanitizing. They're not seeing the need of speaking about coronavirus, the spread of coronavirus. Guys are still partying. I saw a friend of mine posting a flyer about an event that's happening in a certain club, and there'll be sanitizers at the entrance. I'm like, dude, are you for real? You see, sanitizers by themselves do not really help. If you're clubbing in a club that has someone who has coronavirus, if they sneeze in front of you and you just sanitize your hand, it doesn't make sense. So we need to make sure that we flatten the curve, that we do not overwhelm our healthcare system, because if we overwhelm the healthcare system, what is happening in Italy right now is going to happen in Kenya. And I do pray that each and every person who's watching this takes this thing seriously. If the information is trickled down, if people know what coronavirus is, they'll stop running away from hospitals and infecting other people. If people know what's going on, they'll stop running away from hospitals, like, doctors running away from hospitals when they see coronavirus patients. If people know what's going on and if they understand what coronavirus is, they'll stop killing people like they did in Kwale. So I pray to you that you spread the word, we keep the conversation going. And that's the only way we're going to win this. We're going to flatten the curve and keep the conversation going. At XTNDella on Instagram, keep me posted. Yeah, it's crazy, but we're going to win this, man. Let's flatten the curve.
At XTNDella.